Hey everybody out there in YouTube and Facebook, this is Kris Nicholson, and right now you see my Casio MZ-2000, the bottom panel. The reason that you see the bottom panel instead of the top panel is that because I'm going to open it back up and show you guys some tips, what I did as in cleaning it, and some other little inside tips that are actually inside the keyboard. Okay, first to take it apart, right over by the key slip, you have to take these screws apart over here, which I already did. And then from the keyboard cheeks, you're going to take these screws apart. From the back panel, these are the screws you have to take apart. Now, you think you're done. You're absolutely not done yet. So, you take a little screwdriver right over here because it's hard to, you have to take all the screws from the back of the speaker panels. This one and that one. So what I did is I did it for you because it was going to take a long time just to do the video. Alright, now take your screwdriver, go into one of the speaker panels, take that off. Now, let me say this now, when you vice versa putting it back together, this is how it should be. There's actually holes in the speaker fabric to guide you where they should be. Now, your bass booster is on this side, right here. This overlaps the bass booster right there. And that's how you get that sound. But once you put it upright, it's going to fall to the bottom of the keyboard. So I'm going to take this apart. I'm going to do the same thing to this speaker right over here. Let's see if I can get a better grip over here. There we go. So this speaker panel comes out. Speaker fabric, same thing. It's basically drawn out the same way. Bass booster's right here, and when you put it back together, that overlaps it. Okay, now you think you're done yet. Don't try to rip the keyboard apart. That's not smart. You have a screw right over here. You have a screw right here. You have a screw right over here, which this is loose right now, so that's why it's still there, because I have to fix that. And you have a screw right over here. Now on this side, you have a screw right here, screw right over here, and screw right over here. So you got some inside screws. This panel over here, unless you're dealing with the key job, you really don't have to take it apart. You know, unless you're dealing with the key contacts. If you're dealing with the key contacts, this is the only thing you need to take apart. And you could take it apart and clean it. That's no problem. But if you're dealing with the inside of the keyboard, this is what you have to take apart. So this is the surround sound system that you get from, 3D systems you get from the MZ-2000. This is how big the box is. That's why your machine sounds so good. Because also with the speaker cabinet and the casing on top. So I'm going to put this on a stand and I'm going to flip this so you can actually see it. Here you go. Hold both sides together. You can even hold the keys. Take it up, flip it around. I usually put it to the back because the keyboard's so heavy. Then I grab it from the back and sit it down. Alright, now to remove the top panel, you don't want to scratch it or anything like that. What I should have done myself, I should have had a bigger table. But I'm going to show you this easy. I'm going to put the stand that I have underneath here. Let's move this stuff right here. What I did is I put my keyboard stand, or my keyboard seat like this because it has a cushion, and then just crisscross it and make sure that it's even with the keyboard seat. Now, I hope you guys could see it, But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the top casing, and to do that, lift up the back and slowly towards you take it out. Now there's wires attached to it. So what you want to do is that you want to put it to the back panel, not on the speakers itself. And to take out the wires, there's 3 wires, actually 4 wires, I'm sorry. There's one over here, 4 sets of wires. One right here. And there's 2 serial wires right here. So there's one right there. And if any wire is basically giving you trouble, don't yank it out. Take a Phillips screwdriver and just knead it out. The reason you don't want to yank it out, you don't want to break any of the pins right over here. And you don't want to snap any of the cables, you know, any of the little wires right over here. So this is your piece right over here. This is your front, this is your top panel of the MZ-2000. And these are all your circuits right here. So put this aside. And I'm going to show you some tips. I'm not an electrician mostly, but I did notice about what a lot of people was commenting me about. So over here, this is a felt strip. This does not come with the MZ-2000. I added this myself. This actually comes right out. If you want to clean the keys, you have to take out these sets of screws right over here. The keys actually comes in 3 different parts. So 1 octave is 3 different parts. You have the bottom part, which is the sharps. You have the second part, which is the third naturals. I'm sorry, the second naturals right here. And also then you have the first part, which is this part right over here, which is every other right there, just like that. And that's throughout the whole keyboard. Now, what I use to clean the MZ is this fiber optic brush right here. All you have to do is just basically dust as much as you can. Doing the keys is a little bit different. You have to take it apart piece by piece. Speakers, you don't ever want to use any kind of chemicals against the speakers. These speakers, they're actually cardboard right here. And of course you got a nice good foam casing around, which is pretty cool. Actually, this is not foam. This is actually a different kind of cloth on here. I don't know what they call it. And there's your bass booster right there. So that propels the sound down into its chamber, and that's how you get the bass booster right there. All right. Just to show you over here, you got nothing, which is cool. And on this side over here, this is where your pitch bending wheel and modulation wheel is. But let me show you real quick. See if I can zoom in. This over here is where your aftertouch is. So this is your aftertouch board, and this is your aftertouch adapter right over here. You have your gains, and over here you got your offset. So you can adjust it to the way how you want it, which is pretty cool. And that's what I was doing for, you know, I had to open up the keyboard to actually readjust it again. So, you know, I'm right of what I like precise. And also this ribbon over here, this is your aftertouch ribbon. If you do decide to take the keys out, please do not take out this aftertouch ribbon. It's hard to readjust it back, and I did that to one of the keyboards before. It was an old Roland, and just to readjust it back, it was not my keyboard, thank God, but just to readjust it back, it took me a long time ago. It took me a long time. But yeah, the key system is different on here, which is pretty cool. Now, if I show you how the key system is, you get two contacts right over here, two rubber contacts. When they press down at the same time, and they lift up. Now, as you can see, there's no springs. No springs to this action right over here. This is thin piece of plastic right over here. That's your spring. So, what I advise is do not let anybody pound the hell out of this keyboard. Even though it could take it, it's best not to. Because they only go like a fraction down and come right back up. But I broke those in Casios before. And do not drop the keyboard because it could break. Alright, so just wanted to show you. Here's an air vent right over here. Which is if the keyboard gets a little bit too hot, and you see one here and over here. If the keyboard gets a little bit too hot, it at least has some circulation for an actual air vent. So, you know, regular natural air could just go right in there and just cool it off, which is really cool. You got your woofers right here. Alright, so let me put this back on a stand because now I need to show you the other part. Once I show you the other part, what I do is I take this foam, or you could take a blanket right here and put it on top. Do not put the other part at all upside down against anything that you're using right here because you don't want to destroy it. So let me get two matching pieces of foam, which is pretty good. One thing about these is that these interlock, which is really cool. Just like that. It interlocks. Alright, so I put this on top here. And now I'm going to show you the flip side of the MZ-2000. Alright, so here we go. These are your speaker grills right over here. And you know what's cool is that you can actually, these you can use a little bit of damp. Don't use any chemicals because of the paint and everything. Just use a little bit of damp water. Just on a paper towel. There's your tweeter right over here. Here's your pitch bend modulation wheel. Over here, this is your microphone and your headphone board. And this is your registration. I'm sorry, that's your registration board right over here because it's on the it's going to be on the right side, which is cool. This over here, this is your rhythm control board. This is your sliders. This is your main board right over here. This is your main battery right there. You might want to get it tested and checked out. I noticed that you cannot actually put a brand new battery just like that into it. So I'm going to have my electrician come and do that. And this over here, this board is your daughter board right over here, which is pretty cool. So you got your motherboard, you got your daughter board. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what that board does, and I'm not that much of an electrician. But over here, this is your floppy disk drive. Oh, by the way, I changed from the emulator back into floppy because the emulator that I had was a piece of junk. So I'm back onto floppy until I get myself a really good emulator. I was looking online, Amazon.com. They have emulators from 75 bucks. Do not get GoTech. Whatever you do, please do not get GoTech. It's a waste of money and a waste of time opening up your emulator. I tried them on Roland's, Yamahas, and they're really not that good. And also then it took the cake when it didn't work on the Casio. So any GoTech emulators, please do not get. I guess the higher you go, you know, the better it is. All right, so that's basically what I wanted to show you is what it looks like in the inside. Now I'm going to put it back together. See if I got that right there. Take this off. Put this aside. put that aside. Now to put it back together, this is, you're going to have to readjust when you put it back together. The felt piece, if you get it. What I have is it's actually folded, and your lip right over here for the felt piece is sticking out. And it'll guide itself once you put it in there. You can get felt at Joann's Fabrics, which is pretty cool. Alright. What I do is I have it out just a little bit, because it's going to be pushed right back in, just like that. Okay, so take your top panel, put it to the edge of the back panel, a bottom back panel, I should say. You know, try not to scratch it. You have connection 1. You have connection 2. And it's hard to do it one-handed. So connection 2 is right here. There we go. And you have connection 3. And last but not least, this over here, this is your connection to the speaker box. So from your power board right over here to your speaker box. So the goes from to right here. You have to get it from the right side, so it just snaps in there. Here we go. All right, now to put it back in, lift it up, and the front key slip, which is right here towards you, put it in nice and gently, and everything should be aligned up. There you go, just like that. You can adjust the felt strip later. There we go. And the rest, what you have to do is from the bottom, as I said, just put this right back on, which is the bottom of the speakers. And, well, before you put anything back on, test it out. Make sure it works. So I'm plugging it back in. My disk drive light up, so it works. There's a screen. Perfect. This thing plays like new. I'm going to put the rest back together. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Please click like, follow, subscribe to anything in my videos. Join me on my website, www.krisnicholson, KrisNicholson.com. You know, and if you're on Facebook, go to my YouTube. If you're my YouTube, go to my Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. And I'm also on MySpace. So, hey, thank you very much for watching my videos. This is just a tip. I'm sorry, I'm not an electrician, so I cannot tell you all the different parts of this MZ-2000. But I told you as much as I known on here. All right, everybody. I'll see ya. Bye-bye.